Hi, welcome to ABC's Film, where we watch movies that won the Best Picture award at the Oscars. This week we are watching In the Heat of the Night.
All mean and bright. In the heat of the night.
So In the Heat of the Night is a movie starring Sidney Poitier as a coloured police officer who has to solve a murder case down south. And obviously he has trouble working with all the local police officers because they don't really like working with coloured people because it's the 60s.
They don't like black people because it's the 60s. That's what they got against them, is it?
Philadelphia.
Mississippi.
Pennsylvania.
Just what you do up there in little old Pennsylvania, earn that kind of money?
I'm a police officer.
So, Barry, what did you think of In the Heat of the Night?
I understand why it's so well loved.
I think this is one of those ones where you definitely have to grade it on a curve.
Yeah.
I think it is very unlike the other films that were released at the time, so you can kind of tell why they thought it was so revolutionary.
Yeah. It's telling that the reason it's known is because of the social things and not because of the film.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's like, I love that film, it's got a great story.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh my god, it's like a black guy hits a white guy in it, you know?
Yeah.
This greenhouse, say last night, about midnight.
I think for me, you can kind of acknowledge that the reason it won is that it's the very first film that we've seen that deals with like black-white relations in a way that you could possibly construe as being honest.
And it's our first
modern
black character that's not in a service role, which we've been waiting for with these.
It's
this
the
is first one, and it's straight to the lead.
Yeah. It's first black lead actor, yeah, absolutely.
What do they call you up there?
They call me Mr. Tibbs.
Mr. Tibbs! Well, Mr. Wood, take Mr. Tibbs, take him down to the depot, and I mean boy like now!
But it presents like kind of a very modern, gritty take on like race relations in the South.
Yeah.
Not idealised at all, like you would have seen Gone with the Wind or something like that, where it's like everyone gets on well even though they're slaves.
Well, it's also
with
the
their white
rednecks
masters.
are portrayed as idiots.
Yeah.
You know, rather than Cary Grant.
Yeah.
In that movie, he's like the stand-up character that, like, presumably they wanted you to want to be.
Like he missed the leading man, yeah.
In this, they're idiots.
I told you about them bad manners, boy. You better put that down.
Why don't you come and get it, baby?
It's a real leap for me from the films we've seen previously, because up until this point in the 60s you've had like Man for All Seasons, which I love, but it's a very stagey production. It's definitely an older style of film than this. And then you've had a bunch of musicals.
Yeah.
You know, this feels modern in the same way.
It's definitely the first modern film.
It feels modern to me in the same way that On the Waterfront felt kind of modern, like the acting style on the Waterfront felt very on, you know, a very modern, like candid style of acting.
Yeah.
I think this you get kind of the same impression from as well. So I think from that film history perspective, that's why it's interesting.
From a film history perspective, it is definitely interesting, for sure. And I would recommend it to anybody for that, but not just as a standalone film.
All right, what do you have, Virgil?
I ain't serving him.
I think both of the central performances in this by Rod Steiger, who we also saw on The Waterfront.
Yeah.
You know, he had to sit opposite Marlon Brando while he was doing the amazing monologue in the back of the car.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
also he held his own really
That's
well.
probably why he put on loads of weight subsequently, isn't it? It's just sort of, I'm never going to be that guy.
Rod Steiger is a very celebrated actor in his own right. Won Best Supporting Actor for this. He's very good in this. I think he is.
I thought he was very good, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he plays kind of a character who's reprehensible and just throws the N-word around occasionally, but also, like, it's not as explicit as, like, Green Book, for instance, where he comes to realise his own racism, but he does come to realise, hey, this, you know, the Sidney Poitier guy.
It's like, I don't think, like, obviously at the end of this movie they get on, but I don't think that police officer went back then and was like, hey everyone, let's treat black people nicely. You know, I imagine he probably slipped back into it.
Yeah, you would. It's just like as a product of your environment kind of thing, isn't it? Like, if you're around people who are racist the entire time and not around many black people, and black people who are, like, in service roles, and, you know, obviously they've just come out of segregation, like, that's the kind of way you're going to be.
Yeah.
It's just because that's the people who are around you. Yeah.
Sidney Poitier wasn't as good as I had expected him to be, but he was good. This is my first Sidney Poitier film,
This is also, like, the first one I've ever seen him in as well.
Yeah.
I think he does communicate, like, the quiet resolve and professionalism and, like, the doggedness in the face of, like, prejudice and things.
I love
like
it
that.
at first.
Yeah.
Like, there's a scene at the beginning where there's been a murder and Sidney Poitier is waiting at a train station. So this police officer walks by, sees him, and is just like, oh, that guy did it.
On your feet, boy.
I mean now.
Yeah, so it's one of those films where the elements of it are very interesting, I think.
Yeah.
The central story itself is not particularly... The central
I didn't
mystery
care about
is-
the murder at all.
The central mystery is throwaway, and it was almost very interesting to me how they didn't try and tie that back into the race relations thing.
Yeah, like it wasn't somebody trying to blame it on a black guy or anything like that.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, a black guy's done this, so it's like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe he's conflicted.
Yeah.
You know, it's just his, you know, it was, I think it was an abortion, like, he was murdered for the abortion money, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Or something. The main guy, the factory owner,
Yeah.
who was murdered.
Spoilers.
Oh. Yeah, it was 50
It's
years
really
old.
not important to the film at all,
No.
if you know. It's not like at the end of the movie you're like, oh,
Yeah.
he did it?
You take care. You hear?
Yeah.
So that was our review of In the Heat of the Night. Join us again in 2 weeks' time for The Secret in Their Eyes, the original Argentinian version.
I've got trouble.
I thought that this was going to be the movie where we got our first boobs.
Really?
Yeah.
We almost did. We
Yeah.
very almost did. That fucking window
Yeah, because
sill.
another thing Alex and I have wondered is, obviously watching these movies from the 20s all the way up, when is the first boob shot going
To
be?
be
I
fair-
think it's going to be The Godfather.
To be fair, you can see some of Clara Bowes in Wings. You can just, yeah.
Oh.
So really, like the
well,
first
I
Oscar
mean
winner
like
you can
a
see.
boob shot.
Yeah, like a HBO kind of,
Yeah.
tits of the attraction kind of
Yeah.
thing.
And I wonder when the first penis is going to be.
Has there been a penis in a Best Picture winner?
Roma? Oh no, it didn't win Best Picture.
Yeah, exactly.
That would have been fantastic.
Yeah. I imagine like the homophobic members of the Academy just switched off then, and that's why I didn't win Best
Yeah,
Picture.
yeah.
Like, oh no,
they got to
dick.
that bit and they're just like, why is that guy naked and dancing? Oh.
Yeah, oh, I hate that. No, it's black and white as well.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate it.